Hi there, coming at you from my garage slash gymnasium. Not because it's a workout video or anything like that, but because far be it from me to wake up my teenage son by recording a video in the house. So anyway, I've just been kind of chewing on my reading for this morning, which included 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and just thought I'd go ahead and put out a quick video out there. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. No, I'm not going to sing for you. I'm a little bit weird. Sorry about that. But anyway, 1 Corinthians 13, known as the love chapter. And I just thought I'd go ahead and just share a couple of thoughts with you this morning because, you're in quarantine, you're at home, you're with the family. Great opportunity to work on your love, great opportunity to work on your appreciation for people, and great opportunity to appreciate what you don't have. We're losing that interaction with people. How can we improve that for when we get back together with them? So just a few real simple thoughts. This isn't going to be a big sermon or anything like that, but 1 Corinthians 13, first of all, it talks about all these great things that we could do, but if we don't have love as the motivation, then what's the point? You can do all the things around the house. You can be a great handyman. You can be a great cook. You can, whatever. But if love isn't behind the motivation, then what's the point? If you're just, I'm just slaving doing all this stuff and you don't appreciate it. What are you doing? How are you pulling your weight? That's not really love, right? Anyway, goes into this definition of love, and I just want to look at it real quick. And I'm reading from the New Living Translation here, 1 Corinthians 13. I'm going to go ahead and pick up with verse 4, and it says, "Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. Love does not demand its own way. Love is not irritable. It keeps no record of wrongs." I messed up versions there. It keeps no record of when it has been wronged. It is never glad about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up. Love never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Love will last forever. Let's go ahead and just take that apart. And again, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but just want to look at it because, what is love? Love is not a feeling. Love is not an emotion. Love is a decision. It's a choice. It's a commitment. It's a verb. It's an action. And so we can all choose to be loving. And so love is what? Patient. I see posts sometimes with people, your kids are driving me crazy. Here we are with the quarantine, and the kids have been home for just a few days and driving me up the wall. Hey guys, sometimes kids see your posts. Let's not post that kind of stuff. Let your kids know that you love them. Let your kids know that, whatever their strengths are, whatever their failures are, you love them no matter what. Okay, so love is patient. When things aren't going your way, are you making that choice to stick with people? With those that are the most important people to you. Love is kind. What kind of things are you saying to the people around you? Are you being kind? Are you building people up? Are you being positive? Are you helping them to see the best in themselves? Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. When you talk with your family members, when you talk with other people, are you thinking about them more than you're thinking about yourself? Are you jealous of attention that other people are getting? Sometimes, I don't know. I think it's funny sometimes, but sometimes, parents can be jealous of the attention that their kids are getting from their spouses. Sometimes, hey, if your brother or sister and your brother or sister is getting more attention than you think, are you jealous of that? Let's think of the best of others, and let's be happy for them. Love isn't boastful. Love isn't proud. You don't have to sit there and talk about all the great things that you're doing, all the things that you're offering to your family or to your society. You don't have to be boasting on social media about all the great things that you are. We all know that you're great, okay? You don't have to keep tooting your horn. Let somebody else toot your horn, so to speak. It's not rude. Love is not rude. You're looking to build people up. You're not looking to tear people down. Love does not demand its own way. Uh, and sometimes we get so focused on ourselves. Do you see a pattern here? Love is about living for somebody else's good, not for your own good. Love is not irritable. Boy, there's a big one, right? Sometimes we get a little bit of cabin fever. We get a little bit cloistered. Hey, man, if you really love people, you're not going to be easily irritated. You're going to be patient with others. Love keeps no record of when it has been wronged. Hey, fact of the matter is, the closer people get to you, the more they're going to hurt you. It's just the fact of life. It's why some people put up a defense mechanism and don't want to let people in. Hey, if you really want to appreciate all the beauty that the relationships offer, you're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to put yourself out there, which means you're going to get hurt. And then the question is, when you get hurt, are you going to forgive and move on? Or are you going to hold on to that? Are you going to try to make a person pay for hurting you? But love keeps no record of when it's been wronged. It's never glad about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Hey, let's not rejoice when somebody else has something bad happen to them. And hopefully this isn't so much with our family, but with other people, even people that you don't really appreciate, people that are on the other end of the political spectrum or the moral spectrum or whatever. And if we're loving the way God wants us to, we'll never be happy when somebody else is suffering. So, and we'll never be happy when somebody else gets their comeuppance or whatever. Let's just it's never glad about injustice, but rejoices when the truth wins out. Man, let's rejoice when God wins the day. Let's rejoice when somebody has a testimony. Let's rejoice when somebody's had a good day or they've got something good that's happened to them and they want to share that news. Love never gives up. Love never loses faith. It's always hopeful, always endures through every circumstance. Love will last forever. I'm going to skip down because I want this to be a short video, but I want to skip down to verse 11. And it says this. It's like this. When I was a child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child does, but when I grew up, I put away childish things. What does that mean? A lot of times we say, oh, kids, they're so innocent, they're so pure, they're so thoughtful, they love everybody else. Oh, if we could only just be like these little children. And I think, have you ever had children? Do you remember what it's like to have little children? They are the most selfish, self-centered people I can think of sometimes. They're worried about who's got the bigger piece of cake. They're worried about who gets the most love, the most attention, who gets the whatever. Kids are very self-centered. And a lot of times as adults, we haven't grown past that. We get so self-centered. We're so worried about what others can do for us rather than what we can do for others. The Apostle Paul, when he's writing this under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, he says, when I was a child, that's how I was. I thought like a child. I acted like a child. I reasoned like a child. I like the way the NIV says, or at least the older NIV says, when I became a man, I put childish ways behind me. And this is a little shout out to you guys. Man, let's be men. Let's be men in our families. Not thinking about what everybody else can do to serve us. Let's serve our wives. Let's serve our kids. Let's serve our church. Let's serve at work. It doesn't matter what they can or cannot or will not do for us. We're men. We're adults. We're men and women, and so we're putting those childish ways behind us, right? So we want to be loving. Okay, so here's a little practice that I like to do a lot of times in my counseling sessions, okay? So we're going to replace the word love with your own name and see how that matches up. So I'm going to do it with my name, and you just kind of imagine it with your name, okay? And so when we read verses 4 through 8, we're going to say, Ty is patient and kind. Ty is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. Ty does not demand his own way. Ty is not irritable. He keeps no record of when he's been wronged. He is never glad about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Ty never gives up hope, never loses faith. He's always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. Now, if you're like me, you hear your name inserted in there and it just doesn't fit. And you're thinking, man, there's so many ways that I fall short of that. I thought I was a loving person. I'm not much of a loving person. Hey, here's the thing. None of us are perfect, but we're working toward perfection. Who are we working toward as our model? It's Jesus. We're being crafted into his image. And the good news is there is a name that fits perfectly with this. Jesus is patient and kind. Jesus is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. Jesus does not demand his own way. Jesus is not irritable. He keeps no record of when he has been wronged. He is never glad about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Jesus never gives up, never loses faith. He's always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. Jesus will last forever. Hey, I just want to encourage you today. Let's practice love during this time. Let's look to be better people. Let's look to make better choices. Remember, love is not an emotion. Love is not a feeling. Love is a verb. It is an action, and therefore it is a decision. It is always, always, always a choice. Just like anger and spite is a choice, love is a choice. Hey, make the better choice. Love you all. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you're making the best of this situation, and we'll talk with you later.